Hello traders out there in Traderland. My name's Des Woodruff. I am a mentor and analyst here at Grok Trade, and this video is good through Sunday, September 26, 2010, and this is the weekend edition. First out of the gates, would you be so kind to click the like button there, the like button down below? I would sincerely appreciate you doing so. Thank you so much for that. And for those of you that don't know this yet, we are on Facebook. Grok Trade is on Facebook, and if you're at freeonlinetradingeducation.com, down to the right hand side bottom, you can click like there and you'll automatically be associated with our Facebook group. The markets have been on a tear, incredibly bullish. On Friday, stocks soared on economic hopes. A report on manufacturing orders is surprisingly strong and sets off a broad rally all day long. And at one point, gold briefly topped 1,300 big ones, and Apple's hitting all-time highs. However, home sales are still stagnant out there in the markets. And what we're looking at here is the S&P. Gang, we're going to be going over a lot of information here. Stay with me. You may need to listen to this once or twice. You want to get everything that we're sharing here. If you're not paying attention to pre-market videos, you need to start doing so. We are nailing support and resistant levels in there, and that will help you with your intraday trading if you happen to be a day trader. And in the middle of the day, we do another video talking about what we're seeing in the market internals to see if these rallies are justified or the drops are justified. They are priceless. We're going to be looking at the S&P, Dow, and the Nasdaq. So here we go. We're looking at the daily S&P. We had this big symmetrical triangle. We broke out of it in the last couple of weeks. We had a nice bull pullback. Now we are seeing this high that we saw not too long ago, a few days back at 1149. That is a big time resistance area. That's precisely where we stop. Now on the MACD, we have a positive tick on the histogram. That is bullish. We are above zero. That is bullish. At this moment, everything is pointing northbound. Just to let you know, it is Friday. This bar is Friday, and the volume was a little lackluster. Wasn't overly impressive. But we're making higher swing highs, higher swing lows. Everything is bullish at this moment, but we have to get over 1149. We are at resistance. If we do get over that, the next level of resistance that I'm seeing is 1174, 1175 is resistance. So be watching for that area. Now we're going to bring in the weekly. Every bar here is a weekly. We are looking at the CCI. CCI is way high right now. And a lot of times when you go high, you tend to pull back. You go high. This one stayed high for a while, stayed in that trend, and then pulled back. Came high, pulled back, and you can see what happens each time. Now we're high again. The question is, will we stay above this line, this level? And if so, we could continue to rally. But know this, sometimes they don't stay up here very long before they pull back, and you'll see another pullback. So we need to be watching this. Now on the weekly, what we have here is we're clearing some major highs right here, but we have one coming up at 1147, 1148 on the weekly, and that's precisely where we're at. We're at major resistance on the daily, at major resistance on the weekly. This is not to be ignored. Now, if we go higher as far as the weekly is concerned, 1169 or 1170 will be our next resistance point. So if we can clear the 1148 or the 1150, be thinking 1170. There's nothing really stopping it from getting to that level. We have the 200 and also the 225 moving averages here, which will act as resistance on the weekly. And if we can bust over that, that's where we will be definitely bullish in the markets. Now let's take a look at the monthly. The monthly also stalled at 1148. See this? I can't even begin to tell you how big of a resistance area this is. Daily, weekly, and monthly. here we are. This is a huge area of resistance. So it's going to be huge if we can blast through this for the month. It will be tough. Now I dropped a shadow line here, shadow to shadow coming. So we have to get over that area to clear way for this 1200 mark. The 1200 could blast through. So let's be watching for that 1200 if in fact we can blast through this 1150 area. If we can get through that, really far as the monthly is concerned, 1200 is the next logical area of resistance. Now, let's go and look at the Dow. This is the Dow Daily. The Dow Daily, we busted over some nice resistance on Friday and making some new highs here. We do have resistance coming at 10,900, 10,900. 10,900 is going to be a resistance. Definitely the 11,000 will be also, but more specifically the 10,900 here is the point to be watching. And I want to show you the weekly. Every bar is a week here, and we busted through the symmetrical triangle or bullish pennant. Bam, boom. We just get up over there. Big area right here. We blasted through. For us to get over 10,726 was huge, and we did that. Next area, which is a big one as far as the weekly is concerned, is 10,978, right at 11,000. And that's just going to be huge, especially with the 200 coming down, acting as resistance. So there's really nothing stopping it from going up there right now. If the S&P can continue to get through those resistance areas, the Dow should follow. Here's the monthly. Every bar is 1 month. We just are over right now 10,767, which is a major resistance area. We're poking our head up over that as I'm doing this video. We still have some more time in this month. It's going to be really tough at those resistance points. I see, if I just look at the S&P and Dow, just look at those two, it tells me that chances are really good that this next week will be bearish and we'll start pulling back a little bit because of these resistance points. If we can keep going higher, look for the 11,150 to 51 areas of resistance. After that, a bigger one is 11,530, which will be resistance. Those are some key areas you want to be watching in the markets. Now we're going to go to the Nasdaq. Remember, the Nasdaq tends to lead the markets. Whatever the Nasdaq's doing is what the S&P and Dow may want to do shortly. This thing's been running some new highs. It's helped out Apple and some other tech stocks. They've been just flying right now. Now let me show you the big picture here. Big symmetrical triangle, and we're still within the confines of that, right? 2,400 is a natural area of resistance. That's 2395, 26 to be exact. Then 2425, and then when we come up a little bit here, we have let's open this up, 2453 or 54, and 2460, 61 will be resistance areas. And here we are on the weekly. The weekly looks nice. We're in the confines of this symmetrical triangle. Everything else is busting out but this one, so I don't like that too well. But we have free sailing here as far as the weekly is concerned. I see resistance at 2454 to 55 and a big one at 2535. Be watching those. And this trend line is just going to be ginormous as resistance. Look at all this resistance, right here in this area. Wouldn't surprise me to see a little pop here, but if it does get up there, drop. The CCI, look at this, we're really high. I mean, last time we were above it, we dropped and we had a pretty nice little correction in the markets. And here, let's also bring in the monthly. And here's the monthly. We are at major resistance right here. If we do blast through, 2534 will be resistance. So there you are. Gang, do me a favor. Pass this knowledge on to your colleagues. This is priceless information. I mean, everybody should participate in education and having this sort of information at their fingertips. So I hope you pass this along. Thank you for being a part. Look forward to seeing you at freeonlinetradingeducation.com.